What's up, man?
13.
13. Lucky number
Lucky
13.
That's right.
Taylor Swift's number.
Yep. Is it Taylor Swift's number?
I think so. If not,
Right, because she's the...
could be. If it's not her number, I think it is. She has an album named 13, doesn't she?
Well, Megadeth has an album something 13.
Maybe I'm thinking of Megadeth. I get them mixed up.
Megadeth.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Similarities.
Yeah.
Very similar. Her voice and Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Dave. He's going to come after us. We don't mean it, Dave.
Yeah. You're killing it, Dave. Feel confident about it. Feel good about yourself. In that book, Subtle Art of Not Giving a F, he talks about Dave Mustaine and all his success, but how still in his eyes he views it as a disappointment compared to the band he was in, Metallica. That's sad because Dave Mustaine, you're killing it. We love you.
Yeah.
Be happy with yourself. I know you watch this podcast.
That's right. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I don't know why he would. Why wouldn't everybody? Like and subscribe. Is that what we're supposed to do? Ring that bell.
We have to point. We have the point thing. Wait. But anyway, speaking of music and Megadeth and everything, we just got back, me and Jack just got back from Louder Than Life a few days ago.
Yep. Worshiping the devil?
Yes. And more of worshiping the back and body bear aspirin. That saved my life.
You said back and body, I was thinking about the sweatiness.
Yeah.
And the hairiness.
Oh, yeah. The festivals are good, especially rock festivals that are not Christian. And I've never been to a Christian music festival.
Never been to Ichthus?
Yeah. And they don't do that anymore, do they?
No, but we've seen Christian bands at festivals.
Yeah. Demon Hunter, August Burns Red was there this year, so...
I didn't see August. I wasn't there.
But. Yeah. But we have controversy, though, we can talk about for this festival.
Nice.
So, Sleep Token was there. And we know Sleep Token really doesn't fit in with...
really ethereal.
Yeah, like Cannibal Corpse was there. So...
Yeah, two different things.
Yeah, Deftones, like some heavier bands and Sleep Token. But evidently, Sleep Token tickets are hard to get, hard to come by. They're the thing right now. So a lot of their fans, who I'm assuming don't participate in rock or metal festivals, show up to this. It was Friday night and it was sold out completely. So they're already packed, these festivals. It's already hard to move around. So you
think it's sold out Friday night a lot because of Sleep Token?
We think people said that, and people kind of got mad because Deftones was there. There's some.
Oh, and they got a new album out.
Yeah, so it was a Sleep Token, and Deftones was actually the headliner.
They get compared a lot. Sleep Token and Deftones, they get compared to each other a lot because Deftones can have that kind of ethereal thing too. I don't know. Sorry.
No, you're good. So the controversy came with crowd surfing. So evidently, there's video of when Sleep Token's playing, people crowd surf. And we go to a lot of festivals. We've been to a lot of festivals in Louisville, and it's always a thing.
Yeah.
Mosh pits, crowd surfing and stuff, but Sleep Token fans weren't having it. And we're chanting, chanting to drop people. And at one point, one guy that was crowd surfing, they threw him and didn't catch him. And he landed on somebody and knocked the girl that he hit out cold. She had a seizure and wound up, I think, with a concussion and all this other stuff. So, of course, all the regular loudmouths and Louder Than Life goers are upset.
Right.
So, what do you think? Crowd surfing?
Yeah.
Well, you have to deal with it if you go?
You got to deal. I mean, look at it this way. Yeah, now you go to clubs and they'll pretty much shut you down.
Yes.
Crowd surfing. Smaller clubs, even at Expo 5, we went there and saw Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Who else was with them?
I believe For Today was there.
Maybe.
Phineas was there.
Phineas was there, yeah. So we saw them and we took a kid with us that time, and it's his first time crowd surfing.
Yep.
Let him go a few times, and then the third or fourth time, they're shutting.
Yeah, they put the X's or something on your hand if you get caught.
Right. So that's Expo 5, and it's a bigger venue.
Yeah, it's like an airport hangar,
it's
right?
It's not a small club. So, I get it in some places they'll shut it down. And whatever. But if you go to, especially Louder in Life, there's a lot of hardcore bands there. There's a lot of heavy bands there.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be mosh pitting. That's what
Yeah.
goes on. If you're going to see Cannibal Corpse and these kind of bands, what's going on? You're going to see August Burns Red, and they're a hardcore Christian band, but you're still gonna get crowd surfing. You're gonna get a mosh pit. It's gonna happen. And so, yeah, and especially if you go up front,
Oh yeah.
you run the risk of that.
Yes.
Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eyes up. Now I feel bad. This girl got knocked out.
Yeah.
But
She
we've seen people get knocked out.
Yeah, she was on social media like the next day, and she was really cool. The guy actually that got thrown, I think the story went, the guy that actually landed on her, like, followed her to the hospital and made sure she was okay, and she got cleared to come back to the festival the next day,
Right.
and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But I thought the same thing. I was like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I bet you would think that. I mean, I remember you getting tossed into a bunch of girls and falling right on your head.
Yeah, that was the first time I crowd surfed.
Yeah, and that'll date us because that was the LRS. No,
It was in the 1900s. It was a LRS fest.
Was it LRS
Mhm.
Fest? And we threw Jeremy up, crowd surfed, and we see him go over, and they tossed him, kind of just tossed him like that
Mhm.
into this crowd of girls, and they all just kind of went and split, and Jeremy went
Yeah.
right down to the ground. I was like, oh. And, you know, that's kind of how it happens in the mosh pit or crowd surfing.
Mhm.
Usually some nice guy will come and pick you up.
Yeah, and that's why that was kind of my point, was like, you know, I agree with you. If you go to Louder Than Life, don't go to the front.
Mm-mm.
You know, if you're going to go to the front, you're either going to get in the mosh pit, you're going to have to take care of crowd surfers,
You're probably going to get knocked down.
maybe a wall of death.
Yeah.
That happened this year.
Yeah.
Massive one.
Circle pit.
Yep, circle pits.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like the metal fans always get a bad rap of being rude and obnoxious people and stuff like that. But in our experience, you know, Louisville's had a pretty good, at least rock and roll kind of, you know, a lot of musicians come here and, you know, play festivals and play venues and stuff like that. And for the most part of all the stuff we've been to, I've had nothing but pleasant experiences with. Like you said, if you're in a mosh pit, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, so I usually wind up getting knocked down. You know, stop, pick them up, make sure you're okay.
I consider myself a big guy. I've been knocked down.
Oh yeah.
Can't tell you how many times. Yeah.
So lost a shoe and all that good stuff. But yeah, I thought it was just kind of really just crappy.
Yeah, it sucks that she got knocked out, but chanting "drop them" is worse.
Yeah, like it was. It'd be different if it was an accident. Like we were actually, I think it was a Louder Than Life. We were at a Falling in Reverse was playing, and we got up front, and we were helping crowd surfers go by and stuff like that. And I was helping one person go by, and I turned like that, and before I could turn back around, another guy just right on my shoulder, and it was just me. So of course, I go down to my knee and stuff, and then of course, like I said, but the people around saw that, came in, picked the guy up.
Right.
So, you know, accidents will happen like that.
Yeah.
You know, where you're
somebody's going out in the stretcher usually.
Yeah.
Even at, like, we've seen bands at concerts where you're sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gets hurt. I mean, it happens. You've got a lot of people there. Sometimes injuries happen. It goes on. But something as rowdy as Louder Than Life.
Yeah. And it just makes you want to say, like, Sleep Token fans, like, do better.
Yeah,
like,
well, they're probably not used to the scene.
And yeah, and I get that, but
they Sleep Token, they have some moments where
they have their music. I think you hit the nail on the head with kind of like the Deftones thing. Like Deftone has that kind of mellow stuff, but it's heavy.
Right.
And Sleep Token has those moments of like, it's kind of weird because they will play like soft stuff and he'll be singing really high, and then it'll just all of a sudden it'll get heavy.
I like some Sleep Token.
They had a saxophone in one of their songs, and it was beautiful.
Nice.
Just, there's a saxophone player.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like maybe somebody like should let these Sleep Token fans know like the rules of.
Well, do you remember the Karate Kids era?
Oh yeah. The slam dance, yeah.
Yeah. They'd be doing their karate moves like Ralph Macchio in the pit. We hated that. We saw somebody get kicked in the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Demon
I think
Hunter.
it was Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not a fan of that. But like I said, I didn't get in the pit. Now it's kind of resorted back to you just kind of
dance around.
It's more my style of dance of jumping around and just falling into each other and stuff like that. And I'm too old to be doing that stuff.
Right. We still, like, I think the last War of Ages, Demon Hunter concert. We got in there, and the next day I was.
That was just for the boys, though.
Yeah.
Isaiah and Maddox.
It was for their benefit.
Like I just showed you the video of Nate, our youngest, me and Jack's youngest boy, crowd surf for the first time at this festival. He's 13. 13, and so he wanted to crowd surf and stuff for the first time, and I tried to get his older brother Maddox to do it, and of course Maddox is too busy, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna take this guy down the front. So I already had an exit strategy. Like, see, this is what Sleep Token fans needed to understand. Like, I knew I'm going down there.
You're playing ahead,
and we had this really cool, big old, good old boy that I was like, hey, can you? When the band starts, he wants to crowd surf. I laid it on pretty thick. I was like, it's his first festival. He wants to crowd surf. And, this guy, he's a pretty massive dude. And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, just let me know. He goes, if I have to, he's like, I'll pick him up and carry him all the way there myself. So I was like, well, I'll just help me get him up and make sure nobody drops him, right? And he's like, cool. So he was like, when the music starts, just let me know. And I was like, well, I'll just give you the thumbs up. So poor Nate, all 5'2" of him and 90-something pounds. I was like, are you ready? And he goes, yeah, I won't go now. So I turned to the guy and I gave him a thumbs up. This guy picks Nate up by himself and, true to his word, picks him up and carries him into the crowd. And at that point, I was like, this is my time. So in the video, I had it zoomed in, but you can see me as Nate's feet are dangling up in the air. I'm walking by laughing because I'd already got out of the stuff. Because, too old. I didn't want to get caught in the
You didn't have any moment where you're like, I can still do this.
I think that sometimes, but then I'll tell you what does it is Louder Than Life. We were there from like 10 in the morning till one night we didn't get home until it was almost like 2:30. Now that's traffic and people stopping to eat and stuff like that. But the concert ends at like 11:30 at night. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So by the time Sunday rolls around, we get home and I get out of the car and I'm like, oh, I can barely move. My back's all stiff. My knees hurt. My feet hurt.
Where's the Tiger Bomb?
Yeah, exactly. So I have to. I used to be able to go to those things and then go to work the next day.
Right.
Now I make sure I take Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. so yeah, there's a. But yeah, I think there's a part of me sometimes when you're watching it and it's like, I can do that.
One thing that keeps me out of the mosh pit a lot now is not so much I'm going to regret it physically, is I'm going to regret it. It stinks, man.
Like literally?
Like people are sweaty. You're going to get someone else's sweat on you. It's going to happen. And, man, the hygiene and the scene is not great sometimes.
No.
Yeah. Soap isn't like a big deal to some of these guys. And God love them, and it's good times, but
bless their heart.
Man, it gets dirty. And if you're there 3 days in a row, I'm not.
And people are camping.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I'm not near the germaphobe I used to be, but at festivals when it's hot out, especially, it will deter me from getting in a mosh pit.
We about lost Jack right off the bat Thursday. They sent us out. The bands we were wanting to see that day were in this. They weren't main stage bands, and they were in a parking lot. So middle of the afternoon, parking lot. We're standing on asphalt and stuff like that. It's just it feels like it's 200 degrees with all the people and stuff. And she had a. I got to go sit down.
Yeah. Well, I want to congratulate you anyway. We're all still alive.
Mm-hmm.
The world was supposed to end. Well, maybe not the world ending, but the rapture was supposed to happen.
While we were at Louder Than Life?
No, yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah. Well, day before maybe and yesterday. Rosh Hashanah, the world was supposed to end.
Oh.
Yep.
I forgot all about that.
Over. Yeah. Some African pastor had said that he had $1 billion, or he was 1,000,000,000% sure the rapture was going to be yesterday, or the day before, or whatever. And so, and then there was a lot of talk about Charlie Kirk being one of the 2 witnesses in the book of Revelation. And,
yeah, I've seen that.
Folks, read your Bible. So, yeah, but you're still here, we're still here, and you can look at it one of 2 ways. That's unfortunate the Lord did not return.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for us, we're looking forward to that. But also, it's unfortunate that people keep doing this. You know, keep crying wolf, and it makes us look kind of foolish.
Yeah, it makes it look silly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so the whole Charlie Kirk and that poor girl who got killed on the train.
The Ukrainian
Yeah.
woman, I forget her name too.
Yeah, sorry. But they were supposed to be the two witnesses, and it's like, we got to stop reading all these crazy things and just read the scripture for what it says, and stop trying to attach it to every current event or part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The book of Ephesians is not talking about you at Louder Than Life. Yeah. Can you apply it in certain ways? Sure. By whatever stretch you want to apply it, you know, you can do that. But it wasn't written for that. And trying to connect all these things like some mad person with the strings on the... You know what I mean? It's not going to happen, guys. And you make us look crazy, crying wolf all the time, but we're still here. And one day, though, here's the truth of the matter. We need to be vigilant. We need to be aware and watchful and hope for that day and speed along. But, yeah, I wonder if Jeremy's even watching about this.
I was not aware.
Yeah.
I'd have called in another day.
Yeah.
Hey, if the rapture would have happened, I could have got a few more days off from work.
What do you think causes people to keep saying this is going to be the day?
You know, I was going to ask something similar because, like, I think we've talked about it before here. It's like, it seems like every year or every few years, there's always something. Yeah.
It's the Feast of Trumpets.
Yes.
Trumpet's going to sound, the Lord's return. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we talked about it on the podcast at one point, but
I think we have.
But yeah, like the 2012 thing, the 2000 thing, and then I believe there's something back in the 80s.
Yeah, Nostradamus.
Yeah. That's like something I would say.
I think I did hear you say that.
Nostra. Was that what started all the...
Well, I mean, do they do it for viewers or do they do it for likes? Are you trying to sell a book?
But how long could that fame last? Because you look, like you said, you look pretty foolish when I'm like, hey, God's coming back tomorrow.
We should just do it like on a regular.
Yeah, Jesus is coming back tomorrow.
Like we put a podcast out, but
episode 13 is it.
You're gonna watch it because we're not gonna be here. We're raptured. You're watching this video. You missed it. You know, it's happening. What is today? Let's say October 5th. We'll just throw a day out there.
Yeah,
is the 5th a good one for you?
That'll work.
October 5th. That's it.
Really, Jesus coming back.
Yeah.
Any day's good for me.
You know what? Let me just say this.
I can work him in my schedule.
The Bible isn't preaching end of the world.
Yeah.
Talking end of the age. We're looking for the end of sin.
Yes.
We're not looking for the sun to burn out, the world to stop turning, and all those kind of things. We're not doom and gloom. We're looking for the return of Christ and the end of sin forever, the end of death. We're looking forward to that. And all these predictions and stuff, it's kind of counterintuitive to what the Word of God is talking about. Those who look for life to have this doom and gloom take on it. And here's my thing: if you did feel like the Lord is returning, why do you have such a negative take on it? You know, why are you so fearful about it? Like if you really believe the Lord is returning and you're a believer in Christ and you're a follower of Christ and you know the truth and that God has spoke to you that this is the day, why is it this doom and gloom thing that you're preaching everybody to be terrified and to be afraid? Wouldn't you be like, hey, tomorrow's the day, guys?
Yeah.
An exciting time. But anyhow, I really don't want to go off the tangent in that, but I've got some fun things to talk about.
Oh, that wasn't one of them?
No, that was
just because
you
just realized, like, oh
yeah, we're still here.
What if we missed it, though?
Yeah. I did kind of write down something about the two witnesses, just being like, you know, if you thought they were the two witnesses, why didn't they breathe fire, you know, for the 3.5 years, and where were they for 3.5 years, and why their dead bodies didn't rise up 3 days later?
That's what I was going to say. They should be alive now, right?
And all that was supposed to circle around Jerusalem. Like, they would be in the city of Jerusalem. It specifically says that. None of that was happening. You know, nobody sent gifts to each other. Charlie Kirk was, you know, it wasn't anything like that. So it doesn't really even fit. So, you know, let's get into our Bibles. And I wonder if it's because pastors aren't teaching their congregation how to actually study the Bible.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because all these YouTubers and all these TikTok preachers are, you know, getting likes by putting this stuff out
Yeah.
there.
Well,
I think that's more likely.
it's probably easier to go on YouTube and watch a video than it is to actually study.
Yeah.
Because that takes time. That takes work to actually study through. But yeah, we had to talk about that at work. You know, somebody was talking about, oh, they're saying, you know, Charlie Kirk's one of the two witnesses. And it's like, no.
Not. It's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah. He done a lot of, I feel like he's, you know, had a lot of good influence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you were a Charlie Kirk fan, or even if you weren't, to say those things about him, you're kind of taking away from a legacy that he built for himself.
Yeah, and I think he would say, you're all being silly. Like if he was still,
come on.
Like I'm not, you know, that's not me.
There's a tendency for church people to be silly about stuff like this.
Yep.
And to be kind of irrational. Like,
Yeah.
go off the deep end. But no, I've got something exciting that
All right.
I want to talk about. That wasn't it at all. This is actually kind of fun. So, I postulate that.
All right. Well, first of all, I don't know what that means.
It's my belief and my statement that that the Catholic Church is responsible for the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. We have the Catholic Church to thank
For Captain Jack?
for Captain Jack Sparrow.
Not this Captain Jack.
Not this Captain
yeah.
Jack. No. The Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, the ride that I've never been to in, is it Disneyland or Disney World? Maybe both. We don't know.
We'll say both.
Yeah. They don't have that in Indiana.
We just predicted when the world was going to end, so we can say whatever we want.
But the Catholic Church, from the 13th century,
Mm-hmm.
inspired and set the course way back then that now we have the Pirates of the Caribbean. Not only the Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Hook, Peter Pan.
Oh.
Yeah, all that. Treasure Island. We got the Catholic Church to thank for that.
Okay.
Long John Silver's.
The restaurant?
Yeah. Catholic.
I can see that
Not
because
just because of
Lent. That's what I was
No.
going to say.
No.
Nah.
Pirates. Pirates. The Catholic Church inspired pirates.
All right. You keep saying it, but you got to explain.
I'm going to go all the way back to Rome on this.
Rome.
Yes. You know Marcus Cicero, the philosopher, the
Mhm.
Roman philosopher? This is what he said about pirates. They were communis hostis omnium, which means they were the common enemy of all. Common enemy of all. And so here's what happened. There was a Pope, Alexander VI, the Pope. He was from Spain. His name was, Jacqueline, Roderick Borgia. There's a TV show about the Borgias.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
Okay.
Alexander VI, Roderick.
I really
Borgia.
need to start watching more of your shows so I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I can have a postulate or possum mate or what.
Awesome.
Yeah, we never got any comments either about whether or not we should do a word that.
Awesome-mated it.
Yeah, possum mate. It's my possum mate that.
Yeah. So we all know the rhyme. 1492,
Columbus.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So here's what happened. In the age of exploration,
Mm-hmm.
the Portuguese were sending out ships. They wanted to explore. They wanted to try to find trade routes, set up, these colonies. They were expanding the empire. Well, in the Iberian Peninsula, you had the Portuguese and the Spanish. They were both Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were kind of fighting over who's going to get these grounds and stuff. So Columbus discovers the Americas or whatever, and he's claiming it for Spain, but Portugal already had kind of a claim on some of these things that they were exploring. So the Pope has to step in, and he signs this Treaty of Tordesillas. First, he does a papal bull. He sends out a papal bull saying he's dividing any newfound land in the New World between Portugal and Spain at this divide. Like I think the north was Spain, and the south was Portugal or
Mhm.
something.
So he drew a line.
Like drew a
There
line.
you go.
Yeah. And so this papal bull was supposed to settle all this. Well, he signed it into this Treaty of Tordesillas that split the New World between Spain and Portugal, really cutting out all the rest of European powers. Now, obviously, the other European powers weren't on board with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love this.
So we know England, they had the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, and all these, and they had their own settlements. These were supposed to be, by papal order, Spanish land that they owned. And so when you had the Netherlands, who had the Dutch colonial empire, they were settling too. And these were Protestant, mainly, nations. But the French were a Catholic nation, but they also had just had the Western Schism, where the Pope had been in France for a while. Now he's back in Rome. There was kind of some bad blood there. Plus, the Borgia guy was Spanish, so the French were kind of mad about that. So even the French weren't real happy about this.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was they were trying to have settlements and their own prospects in the New World, but the Spanish and the Portuguese had this large, claim from the Pope. So England captures Jamaica. Long story short, they have their own settlements. And so each island or each colony has their own governor. The Netherlands, they had, of course, it was New Amsterdam then, but it's New York now.
Mm-hmm.
And all those northern colonies that were Dutch colonies. And so what they were doing was hiring privateers, private sailors, buccaneers, all these different ship, sea dogs and all this,
Mm-hmm.
hire them kind of as mercenaries. And they were saying, oh, piracy is wrong, but they were turning a blind eye.
But they were funding the.
Yeah, because they wanted to get the Spanish gold that was being shipped back to the European nations, back across the Atlantic. So they would try to intercept these ships with pirates, and
Mhm.
capture this gold. So, of course, the Pope is denouncing piracy, and they're calling it anybody that sails against Spain is a pirate.
Mhm.
And then England and these larger countries are trying to say, technically, no, we don't support that, and piracy should be tried and convicted and all this. But the pirates are bringing the goods back to these colonies, and they're coming back themselves and living there, and it's helping out England and the Netherlands and France. And so they kind of were like turning a blind eye to it, and it created this culture of piracy as
Mhm.
being kind of the law of the land, especially in the Caribbean and in the Atlantic coast. And so all these other European outlets and powers, especially Protestant England and Dutch colonies, sanctioned piracy, and they actually wrote letters of marque against Spanish ships. So you would get, like from the governor of Jamaica, he would write a letter of marque against these ships. So you would have a written order in case you got arrested and say, no, you're working as a mercenary, basically,
Mm-hmm.
for this governor to reclaim goods. And so they kind of, by their action of this one Treaty of Tordesillas, pushed to where we had the golden age of piracy in the 1600s.
Nice.
Yeah. And so because of that, you get like Captain, what's the rum that's still around today, where his legs up?
Oh, Morgan.
Oh yeah, Captain Morgan. So Captain Morgan, he was the raider that raided Panama. He did that right as the Spaniards were like signing a treaty with England, so they wouldn't raid anymore. They would have this kind of trade agreement. Well, it happened, but he hadn't heard news of it, or he didn't know.
Yeah.
Raids Panama, and he didn't get a lot of money for it, but he got a lot of notoriety. So
Mhm.
we know about, Captain Morgan today. And we still talk about him today. He's still on rum.
Yep.
And so by the time, the 18th century comes around, and you get like Blackbeard,
Mm-hmm.
Edward Teach, those guys, piracy had already been on the decline because the Spanish Empire was on the decline. And so they were making treaties with these other countries and allowing them trade, so they weren't wanting to go raid their ships anymore. Now it's kind of a hindrance to these colonies now.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're hunting these pirates down. The Spanish Empire is kind of declining, so it kind of wanes out. And these European countries are starting to get better naval ships. So they're coming in and policing the area a little bit more, and naturally piracy just didn't have its draw, as much draw as it used to. So by the time Edward Teach came along, Blackbeard, it wasn't as lucrative. It wasn't getting as much money out of it. So that was kind of already the decline of it. But we have all these tales of piracy, and you watch it and you see like once a pirate, they were always pirates. You know, they lived that way. But that wasn't the way it really was. You would work on a naval ship sometimes, and then the next year, maybe you're hired by this a privateer to be on his ship. You did some piracy, and then you went back to your normal job. Some of them were like loggers. They would get these hardwood. I can't remember what it's called.
It wasn't acacia.
No, you know, from like Honduras and stuff. And they would dye clothes with the heart of it, and so they were big into logging. I didn't know this. Pirates a lot of times would just raid ships for the logs. They were shipping back to the old country.
Oh,
yeah. And so a lot of these pirates on these ships would be Christian, Protestant, you know, and then the others would be Catholic. And then sometimes on the same pirate ship, you would have Protestants and Catholics together. So it wasn't just Protestants against Catholics. Sometimes pirates would be Catholics against Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this order on Spain, we have Pirates of the Caribbean today.
Captain Jack,
we have all this lore around piracy. And so another thing that Cicero said was, he said, if you have a little boat, you're a pirate. He said, but if you have a fleet of boats, you're an emperor. And it's true. Like,
yeah.
If you have one little boat and you're out raiding people and you're stealing what you can steal, they call you a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a fleet of boats and you're going and invading foreign lands and Shanghaiing people and kidnapping people and taking all their goods and shipping it back, you're creating an empire. So he wrote that hundreds of years before, you know, our thinking of pirates.
So we have Pope Andrew the Sixth.
Alexander. Yep. Pope Alexander the Sixth. Thanks for
number 6. Okay.
Piracy.
And Johnny Depp.
And Johnny Depp. He might have made Johnny Depp. Like, Johnny Depp ought to be thanking Catholic Church right now.
Yep.
It's crazy how one little decision, you think a little decision, it's probably a big deal.
Yeah. Well, at least people thought so.
But here we are now. Pirates of the Caribbean. I've dressed up like pirate before.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Arr.
I do the Jack Sparrow run every once in a while.
Another thing I found out, too, is like, we think of like they would go and hide out at like Tortuga and all these pirate hideouts. No, they would just sail to New England. And New England was like, yeah, come stay here. Give us your goods that you've pirated. Because they needed it, you know. Whatever you got from the Caribbean, they needed up there in the New England colony, so they'd love to get it, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they said that a lot of times they would have like there was one, John Baptiste. He did a pirate mass one time, and the church sanctioned it, and they were fine with it and everything. The whole mass for pirates, yeah. A lot of them, if they died at sea, they would want to get certain Christian burials or certain, and they would chant the Psalms. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Wouldn't that be cool to be on a pirate ship and they're just chanting the Psalms and their pirate shanties?
Could be a Catholic pirate.
Which I've kind of decided we're going to have to do this. I want the Psalms chanted in pirate shanties. Yo ho ho, the Lord is my shelter. You know, I'll fear no arrow that flies by day.
Will there be rum?
Yeah, there has to be rum.
Yeah.
Grog. See that? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Louder in Life. We saw Ailstorm, which was they're a pirate metal band, and they were quite funny and good.
Pirate metal song.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. This guy that was in a walker, he dressed up like a pirate during this concert, and he turned his walker into a pirate ship. So he's walking around the concert with this like makeshift cardboard, pirate ship, decked out in the hat and all this stuff. Oh yeah.
What if you had a pirate priest? That'd be a cool book or something. Copyright. That's our idea.
Yeah.
You saw it here first.
It's yours now.
The pirate priest.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta write this.
I'm down.
It'll be a podcast.
Pirate Priest.
The Pirate Priest. That'd be cool. Yep. He's got a wooden leg and an eye patch and a collar. Anyhow, that's what I had on that.
Heck yeah, dude. That's kind of cool.
How about some?
So, what I got is not my book. I failed you.
No, man.
And all our many fans that I bragged about my book and then totally forgot it. But this will go good with your pirate thing too, because you said a few weeks back that you may have even went on a little bit of a rant about how you're not superstitious about anything.
I'm against superstition.
Yes.
Yes. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't play that crap.
Yeah.
But so you mentioned like breaking mirrors, 7 years bad luck, walking under ladders, and stuff like that. I don't remember.
It's all stupid.
Yeah, I don't remember how it came up, but yeah, you were like, "Oh, this is dumb, stupid."
Well, there's all kinds of stuff. Like some people won't set their radios on an uneven number, or their thermostat on an uneven number.
Mm-hmm. And here we are in episode 13. We shouldn't even have
What do you think's going to happen?
nothing.
Nothing's going to happen.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. 10 people are going to watch it.
Yeah.
And we'll do it. We'll do a 14.
I don't want to take away from what you're saying at all. But how much time do you have to allow after a black cat walks your path?
Mm-hmm.
Like if a black cat crosses your path.
I think you turn around and go the other way.
Yeah, but who knows if an hour before.
Well, you didn't see. You didn't see
Does it
it.
have to be like an immediate thing, or if I wait 5 minutes, am I fine? Oh, you have to see it.
I'm assuming.
It's like a tree falls in the
Yeah,
woods.
because how you gonna know if a black cat went by? But it's a big deal. Pirates, in movies and
pirates are
books,
definitely
superstitious.
Yeah.
Athletes, all this. It's a big part of our culture.
That's why there's only two famous women pirates, right? And what did we say?
Bonnie?
Bonnie and Mary something. And Bonnie and Mary something.
But the whole reason I'm doing this is I've got your back on this. So breaking a mirror, we talked about.
Yep.
7 years bad luck.
Today's the 13th.
Yes.
That's why you're doing this. Okay.
Yeah, episode 13. It just kind of worked out that way. And
Oh, yeah. Today's not the 13th. Episode 13.
episode 13. Yep. So the reason it's bad luck to break a mirror it's not bad luck. It's because back in the day, mirrors had a mercury backing.
Oh.
So if you broke a mirror, it could release deadly vapor in your house. And mercury poisoning takes 7 years to manifest. So that's where they get the
7 years?
Yep. If you break a mirror, it's bad luck. You have 7 years bad luck. It's because if you broke a mirror back in the day, that mercury could poison your family, poison you.
I didn't know they knew about that, though. Because didn't they used to hold mercury in their hands back
Mhm. But I guess they got wise to it eventually and still used it to...
7 years.
Yep. So
Yeah.
the walking under ladders,
Mhm.
well, this was before OSHA. The reason it's bad luck to walk under ladders is because medieval construction workers might drop something on your head and kill you.
Hey, you get a dent in your skull.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that you might catch a tool or a bucket or something to the head. You didn't have your lovely safety guys and OSHA guys, on job sites back then. So it has nothing to do with just you walk under a ladder, it's bad luck. It's to keep you alive.
But you love America's Funniest Home Videos when that happens.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody gets domed. But so yeah, it was basically just you don't walk under ladders because
It was practical.
the safety thing.
Yeah.
Just like you don't want to break a mirror in your house, that could turn out bad.
I get it.
So the last one I got is the throwing salt over your
I
shoulder.
was going to ask you about that.
Spilling salt.
Because that's obvious to you.
Well, it started because spilling salt was extremely expensive for salt back then to preserve food. So if you wasted salt and spilled it, it could mean the difference between you starving, you wouldn't have enough food to preserve through the winter, or famines or lean times, when you couldn't, we may not be able to go out and forage for food or hunt and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's more of a value thing. So throwing salt over the shoulder was developed as a way to acknowledge the seriousness of waste and remind people to be more careful with valuable resources.
So you waste more?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I guess if you spill it, you take the
Oh,
spill
you take what you spill.
and throw it.
Oh, I got you.
So yeah, so I figured I saw that and I was like, I got to have your back on this.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree with you, but I still think people are superstitious and dumb.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that to certain things. Like, here's the funniest one I'll give you, and you will laugh, but it's 100% true. When I worked at the cable company with you, I would not eat combos.
Like the combo snacks?
Yep.
With the cheese in the middle?
Every
And
time,
peanut butter?
every time I got a package of combos, we hit a utility. So I convinced myself. I was like, it's the pepperoni
It's the pepperoni
combos, and now we're hitting a gas line. Or, a phone line or
Is
something
that why
like
you
that.
quit?
That is why I quit, yeah.
You miss combos?
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to not eat combos.
I don't think
That's
I've
right.
ever seen you eat compost.
I did all the time over at Thornton's,
Yeah.
and I started to put it together, every time. And I don't know what triggered it one day. I was just like, every time we hit something, I have combos. I'm not getting combos anymore.
That sounds more like the sports superstition guys.
Yeah.
Like these are my lucky socks. I've worn
Mhm.
them. When I don't wear them, we lose.
Yep. The railroad is the same way.
Yeah.
Well, nobody says certain words about train wrecks. There's a D word that you don't say out loud. And it's such a superstition that, like, when actually one happens, it's better to call them an incident than,
Derailed.
you can't say that. And it's so bad that, like, when you go on these incidents and, you have to rerail a train, that's one of the first questions, or somebody will tell on somebody.
He said D.
Yeah. They'll be like, who said it? And then, it was George over there. He said it the other day. He said it the other day, and look, we're here now.
George is the cause. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So then everybody gives George a hard time, because he said the word.
Well, do you remember the black jerseys at Louisville? U of L for a while?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'd
I like
lose,
those.
We'd lose them whenever we won.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like them too. But they kept saying they were cursed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's bad in sports teams. Like the GOAT curse was the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs, and then the Red Sox trading Babe Ruth. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Cost them many years of World Series titles.
It doesn't matter that teams have just strings of bad years,
Mm-hmm.
more from management or players than it is from a GOAT.
Yeah.
But,
Or they must have ate some combos.
right, combo. Or that one fan at home wasn't watching the game.
Yes.
They lost because I wasn't watching. It's like,
And we do that. We tease about that when we watch football with the boys and stuff. I think one time Jack went to the bathroom and the Steelers scored a touchdown. So we're like, you have to stay in there. You cannot come out. We've done that before. Like, I was wearing my Gotham City jersey, from the Dark Knight movies.
because
and
this
stuff.
entire national
Mhm.
franchise
Yep.
is dependent on you wearing the right.
Mike Tomlin called me and was like, "Hey, we got beat up pretty bad today. Were you wearing a different jersey?"
I like it, dude. Guys who pray for their team to win.
Yeah.
Like, so he prefers the Steelers over the Colts, or what's?
I mean, I'm going to be a little biased, but I think God's a Steeler fan. I mean,
Obviously he's not. You know that.
he would have probably blessed us with some younger quarterbacks if that was the case, right?
Who would be God's team? You're like,
Well, Dallas is America's team. They say Pittsburgh is the world's team.
is that right?
Mm-hmm. I said that.
Oh,
But, so yeah, I don't know.
don't either.
There's not a,
Saints?
yeah, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, you think it had to be, but New Orleans is kind of
Yeah,
worldly place. So.
it is. My dad thinks it's Sin City.
Call it that?
Yes, I tried to explain to him that was Vegas, but my sister had lived in Louisiana for a while. And he's like, she's down there in Sin City. You better watch out. And I'm like, she went to Louisiana, not Las Vegas. Yeah, Sin City. I'm like, no, that's Vegas. Like,
Same thing.
yeah,
It's not here.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Guess it can be the Saints.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter.
It has to. Well, hey, Isn't the Colts? They're undefeated right now, right?
The Colts are going. Yeah. Keep keep praying, Thane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always along that same lines. You take it personal, like when they lose. Like, dude, nobody on that team knows who you are.
Yes.
It's not. But
I've been that guy all the way around.
yeah.
That
I feel like God's mad at me because my teams aren't winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went through a lot of years where most of our teams.
Oh, I'm going through it right now.
Yeah, sucked. So. Well, I mean, the Cardinals sucked for a while. Colts sucked for a while. You like Pittsburgh, they sucked for a while.
Yeah, the Pirates have never been good since the 70s.
Yeah.
So the Penguins are bad.
Ain't gonna win.
The Penguins. They're just walking around out there not playing hockey.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's ever like been a superstition where I had a habit of falling into. But I also never really believed in ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
People always tell me ghost stories. Like, okay, me and my sister lived in the same house growing up, and she had dozens of ghost stories.
And you never.
I had none, zero. Never had a paranormal ghost experience in my life.
Yeah.
Like,
now, my grandma Pellman was big on the superstition stuff. Like, she believed, like, if you were pregnant and you got scared and, like, you grabbed your leg, that baby would have a birthmark
oh yeah,
on the leg. Or the clothesline thing, like, where if you once again, it's all around pregnancy, I guess, but if you picked your arms up, that could wrap the umbilical cord around the baby's neck and stuff. So they would
Yikes.
she would drop the clotheslines down.
there would
and
always
stuff.
be dark things, but like
Mhm.
superstitions always had some kind of dark things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandma was fun.
You hear Theo Vaughn say he's like, "What happened to the ghosts after the 1800s? They just stopped. They retired. Like, there used to be ghosts in the 1800s, and now,
They're
20th
tired.
century, they're like, we're done." Yeah. You don't hear about ghosts that much anymore.
Well, I don't know. Depends on what you watch. Jack keeps me up to date on the.
Is there still
the-
paranormal things going on?
Yeah. Matt Rife just bought what's the house, the Annabelle doll in the museum, and they're the caretakers of Annabelle now and stuff.
That's a real thing?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do get into some exorcist stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had a ghost thing. Seen some demonic things. I don't think you have a problem. I think that's, maybe ghosts are going away. There's not as many ghost stories anymore. But you definitely see more people believing in demonic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's definitely an evil spirit in the world, that's observed in our nation now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think you got more people believing than me before that.
Yeah, we watch a lot of the ghost stuff though. But they never. What always drives me nuts about the shows a lot of times too is like they'll catch some kind of like muffled,
Yeah. Or some
voice.
fake instrument spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this
Or something you can't even.
exoplasmic detector.
Yeah, or something you can't even feel. Like they'll be like, it just got colder. The temperature just dropped 20 degrees in here.
You got like some kind of spine chill going on. You're like, oh, cold chill. Must be a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. That always killed me about those like ghost hunters. They never like, oh, here's Slimer. We found him.
Mm-hmm. We went to Waverly Hills, and I was more scared of the guy that parked us than I was in the actual place.
Yeah, I went to the Culberson Mansion. I was more afraid of the people that I came with.
Yeah.
Then like, why did I come with these people?
But yeah, when we went up to the Waverly Hills or whatever, you drive up this like hill, and it's just woods around, and there's just some guy standing there, and a little creepy, and drive up, and it's like, roll down the window, and he's like, "You here for the tour?" It's like, "Yeah," and he tells us where to park and stuff, and we left, and I told Jack, I was like, "Man, that guy's creepy."
Mm-hmm.
And we parked, and they put you in this room, and they divide you up. You're going to be with this person, you're going to be with this person, and I saw him. I was like, "Man, I hope we're not with that guy." And we were.
Yep. You got it.
So,
Well, Arthur Conan Doyle wrote the Sherlock Holmes stories, and his character Sherlock Holmes said one time that the scariest thing to him wasn't the metropolitan, city, middle of the city thing. It was the crimes that were committed in rural areas, in secluded places, that were the real horror of life. And to me, that's kind of the scary thinking.
yeah.
Like you go to some of these closed off communities where there's the neighbor can't hear you scream kind of situation. They're living in this closed off area. They don't let outsiders come in. Hills have eyes kind of things. Yeah, that's more scary to me.
You're explaining where I grew up.
Yeah, I mean that's what I had in mind.
Yeah.
You go back to home projects. And
Even if you did scream, they didn't care.
everybody screamed about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and that's what Sherlock Holmes said in that one of the Sherlock Holmes books. He's like, here, he said in the city, you start screaming, somebody's going to complain at least.
Yeah.
And get the police will come out. You got some domestic abuse thing going on. He said, but in the rural areas, where everything on the outside looks nice and clean and friendly, and he said you got the beautiful fields and the sunshine of the countryside. He said that's where the terrible, horrible things and crime are taking place. And Dr. Watson was like, "You horrify me, sir." He said, "Rightly so. If you knew the annals of crime that I'd known," and that did kind of put like a chill up your spine. So that's a 13th episode kind of thing. I'm not so much as afraid of ghosts or those kind of things as really the evil of men. Well, that's what The Walking Dead's been more of. Yeah, you got all these zombies killing everybody, but I'm in like the 11th season now of this. We're about done with this. I wouldn't say it's a great show, but we're invested now. 11 seasons in, it's not the zombies you're worried about. It's the other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fighting for the power.
Yeah, when they get desperate and there's no... I have a friend who's an anarchist, and he's always down no government, like zero government. I'm like, do you know what's going to happen to the weak and disenfranchised when there's no law and order, there's no one to protect anyone? Everyone who can be taken advantage of is taken advantage of. Someone's going to... If there's a vacuum of power, someone is going to fill that vacuum. So that's what happens. That's the real terrifying thing.
You're making me want to go stock up on my combos and stuff just in case,
Yeah. Yeah. How about makes all life better.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, Lou and Lion. You.
I get it. Yeah. That's a top 6. How much time we got? Yep.
54. 50.
I want to wrap this up, but I do want to talk about, like, you talking about combos made me think of something. Maybe next podcast.
Okay. So a little teaser.
Yes. Eras of snacks in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at a certain point, combos was your go-to
in
that era of your life, snacks. And I remember at one point in my life, I loved playing bugles.
Really? Like, put on your
You
finger?
put on your fingers. Exactly what I did. I put one on each finger, and yep, just like that. So maybe next podcast, that's what we'll talk about.
This is right up my alley then.
Yep.
So.
Army matey. Good times.
Arr.